So Rogue is coming to Marvel Rivals in a couple of weeks. Season 5 is coming up soon, and the trailer should be right around the corner, coming out Wednesday this week. If I'm wrong, you can tell me in the comments. It should be a day from when this video is going up. So, in this video, I want to talk about why I think that she'll actually be the next character coming at the beginning of Season 5, and also some speculation on her class, what we know about it, and what's been leaked recently. Also, I want to get into how I believe her kit will work, and of course, you can't forget about what cosmetic she'll be getting. So first off, why do I think that she'll be the first character that we see next season? Well, it's very simple. It's a pattern that Marvel Rivals seems to have had. In Season 2, we had Emma Frost followed by Ultron. Season 3 was Phoenix, then Blade. Season 4 had Angela, and then recently Daredevil. So there's a pattern forming here. Season 1 was a bit of an outlier with Fantastic Four being added, so I excluded that. Nonetheless, I believe that Season 5 will bring in Rogue first, followed by Gambit at the end of the season. There's a whole lot of speculation and leaks about the map of Season 5, and the storyline being about love and romance, and honestly, these characters fit really well into that, and we know kind of what the map's going to be about. However, I don't want to be getting into that right now. I want to focus on Rogue as a character. Because if she's not a strategist, that means that she's probably a duelist. And if she's a duelist, that means we've gotten 3 duelists in a row. And if that's the case, I'm going to lose my mind, so please, Marvel Rivals devs, please. So the interesting thing about Rogue's leaked abilities is they don't give us a lot to go on. But at the same time, they give us everything we really need to know, with the exception of her ultimate. So her leaked abilities read as capacity building, ability draw, and then 3 ability acquisition skills. As for capacity building, this might be her ultimate. I'm not sure if she's just going to start absorbing a lot of abilities, or maybe even just steal somebody else's. Ability draw could be the actual action of her taking an ability from somebody else, and then slotting it into either 1, 2, or 3. So how I think this will work is basically Rogue is going to go out, she's going to choose 3 people on her team, almost like a Fantastic Four would choose to kind of touch somebody, and she will get close to somebody, maybe in melee range, and then just press E on them and acquire one of their skills. Maybe it'll work as each character has a unique ability that she can steal, so she doesn't have to sit there and like scroll through a million different things. For example, if she's playing with Luna Snow, she could steal Luna Snow's freeze ability. If she's playing with Cloak and Dagger, she'll be able to steal Cloak and Dagger's healing bubble, for example. The part where it gets a bit weird and why it might work this way is because if you look at a character like Loki, it doesn't really work if Rogue was to steal Loki's ability and then be able to clone herself with Loki clones. It just wouldn't make a lot of sense. Instead, what it could be is that she steals Loki's ability, and instead of being able to pick whatever ability she wants, she could just get the invisibility ability. It's a lot. It's a mouthful to say. But basically, this would allow her to kind of set up with a very coordinated team to get the best sort of healing abilities for her to actually work as a strategist, which is going to get into our next topic about where I think she'll place in the meta. What I want to make really clear here, because I feel like I didn't do a good job while I was talking, is that Rogue will only be able to steal a specific ability from a specific character. So I don't think that the game is going to work. Now, I could be wrong here, but I don't think it's going to work as in you'll be able to just pick whichever of the 3 abilities a character has to take one of their abilities. I think each character will have a unique ability that Rogue can take, and that ability can never change. So for Luna Snow, you'll only be able to take her freeze. Or for Invis, you'll only be able to take Invisible Woman's push ability or pull ability or whatever, right? You won't be able to just like cycle through and say, oh, I want to use this ability and this ability from that person's kit. I just want to make that abundantly clear because I'm sure there'll be some confusion. So will Rogue actually be a good addition to the game? And here is where I love to be positive and say, oh yeah, she's going to be a great addition to the game, she's a new strategist coming, oh, it's going to be awesome. But if it is a case that Rogue's abilities work like this, I think she might be one of those characters like Adam Warlock, or another highly skilled character where you are using them and it's great in certain team comps, but she's not going to be somebody that's always going to fit into every team comp like a Luna Snow or a Cloak and Dagger or Invisible Woman. Instead, if she's playing with somebody who is Rocket Raccoon, she might be stealing an ability from them, and it might not be a good fit for her. I mean, what if her ability is the res ability? That would be great. But if she steals something like Rocket's boost, then like, that's not very great. It's just a mobility thing. However, if she's playing with Luna Snow and she gets the freeze, that could be great utility. Or playing with Invis, she could get the push ability, right? So there's a lot of different things where, yes, it could be a great healer strategist character in the game, but I believe it will be very dependent on your other teammates. And we haven't really had a character come into the game and be a complete broken mess from launch. I mean, you could make some arguments here and there, but I believe Marvel Rivals, the devs tend to go from the aspect of we'll bring a character in and then we'll adjust them from there over the season. And they've been pretty good with that stuff. So I think Rogue is going to come into the game. She's going to probably be a little bit hard to play around with her team comps. They're might going to need to boost her up a bit or change around how some of her abilities work. They might have already changed around some of these abilities, but these leaks have been pretty accurate. So I believe that how Rogue's abilities will work might be a great addition for the game, but they will be very dependent on your team coordination. I also want to bring up that I wonder if she'll be able to steal people's basic attacks. I mean, could you imagine if she was able to steal Jeff's basic attack itself? I mean, that's what ability acquisition could mean. It could literally be she steals Jeff's ability to shoot his healing, and then she just shoots a giant beam of water. That'd be pretty awesome as well. Alright, so let's get into the real fun part, her cosmetics. And obviously, right off the bat, we've got her look immediately, which is her original classic look, you know, with the whole mullet, whatever hairstyle that is, with the green costume and the yellow and all that. It's a classic look, and that has to be her design. Her next one, though, which I would love to see, is the look from X-Men Evolution. Now, I loved this show when I was a kid growing up in the early 2000s, and I really think this would be awesome. And then, of course, my favorite one, which is the Chris Bachalo's version of Rogue with the cloak and all of that going on, the green cloak, which I think is awesome. And then you can't forget about the Gooners. So, we've got the prehistoric Rogue. And this is a skin that's going to be coming into the game, I think, very easily, because A, it pleases the majority of the players, and B, because we already have confirmation that the prehistoric skins are going to be coming in mass. I mean, look what we saw with Black Panther already, and then the other day, I just talked about Ghost Rider got leaked with the prehistoric skin himself. So I think that this is 100% something we could see in the future. And then also, I just want to mention, if they want an easy recolor, there's the Extreme X-Men skin, which is a red and black, opposites her green and yellow skin. And this could work as a nice reskin if they want to follow something comic accurate. Anyways, that was all I got to say today. Just a little bit of rambling as I've been sick all week. So wanted to get this out here, wanted to talk about my predictions before Wednesday rolls around, and then they put out a video and we see for sure. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.